1,400 pounds, 900 horsepower rockets with wings. It's racing season at Knoxville Raceway every Saturday night. The hottest tickets to the biggest shows on dirt this season at Knoxville Raceway. Reserve yours today at KnoxvilleRaceway.com.
Yeah, do a radio voice. Do you have one?
That was it. It was more NPR.
No, the radio voice that always makes me laugh is the strip club DJ radio voice.
Oh, the puking.
Oh, we're back! Oh, on the main stage. Cinnamon on the main stage.
Hold on a second. Josh Sneed is here. Is at a funny note this weekend.
Hey.
Make sure you check him out.
Yeah,
check him out.
You would be surprised how many radio people have that voice.
Really? Because there isn't anybody on our staff
Not one.
who talks that way.
Not one at all.
Wait. Shh. Careful. There's somebody in studio who's good friends with this person.
I'm sure they do a very good job.
You're going to go tell that person that, aren't you, Monica, who's videotaping this for the website?
I know, right? Videotaping.
Yeah. I'm going to go tell him. She's just going to call.
Evidence.
Videotaping. That sounded like 1988, didn't it? Josh Sneed's at the Funny Bone, and much like me, you're an expectant father.
July 4th.
July 17th for me.
Yeah.
Isn't it exciting? Are you scared? I'm scared.
I'm scared to tell my wife. Hey-o! See what I did there?
Hey, it's 8:22.
2 for Tuesday.
38 till 9 o'clock.
I like how you
Top of the
brought.
hour.
He was like, "See what I did there? Did you see that?"
I am. I'm frightened. I'm excited. I feel like I'm going to be a good dad because I've had a practice kid for about 3 years. My little cousin, I watch him any chance I get because it helps his mom out, but it also has provided me with very valuable information on things I will and won't do when I become a parent because I've been able to test my theories out on somebody else's kid.
He's a practice kid. That's great.
Yeah. Like I've
disturbing.
learned. Do you have children?
I do.
Now, tell me if I'm right about this, because it seems to be the consensus. Just because you don't want to watch a TV show, it doesn't matter. If the kid wants to watch it, it's going to be on 24 hours a day. And unless you buy more DVDs, it'll be the same episode of that show over and over again.
Or the same DVD over and over and over again.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They could watch, any DVD just ad nauseum.
Can you just fun up like Law and Order a little bit?
No.
See, that's the goal, is I've learned you got to make sure they don't know that these shows that you don't want to watch exist. That way you'll never have to watch them. So, like, I have a whole... Like, Dora the Explorer might be the longest half hour of my life that I've ever spent. I don't know if you're familiar with her work.
Oh, yeah. I am familiar with her work. And Boots the Monkey as well.
She IMDb'd her.
Oh, awful. Just unwatchable,
Is it because she's Mexican? Is that it, Josh Sneed?
No, it's
Are you
not.
a racist?
She makes you go on the adventure with her.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, leave me out of this, I can't tell people that's how I spent my day. They're going to think I have a meth lab at home. It's like, what'd you do today? I went through a forest where I found a rainbow flute, and I took it all the way to the castle to find a Latino boy so he could play enough notes to grow corn and feed the village. And then Dora, her albino monkey, and I had to get away from a fox who's dressed like the Hamburglar. And they'd be like, are you feeling all right?
No,
I've seen that episode.
I mean, yes.
And over and over again.
They'll probably just say, oh, he's got a kid.
She's got these breaks that, like, I want to stab her in the face,
This just saying Josh wants to stab Dora the Explorer.
Yeah.
In the
Mark
face.
it down,
Yeah.
videotape.
But you're having a boy, correct?
It is a boy.
So you'll get the awesome toys, you'll get the awesome cartoons, the Transformers, all the cool
I hope
stuff.
so. Yeah.
But then you have to worry that everything that they pick up is a weapon, where that's something I don't have to worry about because I have girls. So boys just whack each other for no reason.
Which is kind of funny.
Oh, you meant hit each other.
Yes.
Hey, you want to whack?
See what you did there?
Yeah, I know. Thank you. Yeah, once again, I'm not sure if that's...
Hold on, let's check the time. Let's check the time. 52, 8 till the top of the hour. Josh Sneed's at the Funny Bone this weekend.
I hope he's into that kind of fun stuff, the stuff
What if
that I was
what
into.
if he wants to be the princess boy?
Oh, yeah.
You punch him in the face is what you do.
There are little boys who like to wear the girly stuff.
There are and even like boys who play sports who will come over to our house because we have girls and they're like playing dress up. And for some reason, this shows the power of women. My girls will talk these boys who play hockey and baseball like, hey, why don't you just why don't you just put this dress on? And all of a sudden, they're dressed in cheerleader costumes and have eye makeup on.
Sounds
and
like they're ahead of their time.
And their dads are like, what?
They're baby
that
metrosexuals.
frightens me.
Uh-huh.
But there's even a medium in between the Transformers and dresses. There's still shows that are geared towards boys that I don't want my kid to watch, like Handy Manny.
I was just going to say that one. With
that
the talking tools?
Is that the kid with the hard hat on?
There was Bob the Builder, and he's sort of been
marginalized.
Yeah, by Handy Manny, which is just like I sit there and I'm just like, what happened to Spider-Man and Batman and Superman and Wonder Woman? Like people that could do stuff no other human could do. That's why you want to be them on Halloween. It's why they're on your underoos when you went to bed, because they saved the day when no one else could. You know, even Strawberry Shortcake smelled nice for the boys. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Like, she brought
She
things
dialed
to
it
the
up.
table. And it's like, hey, what does Handy Manny bring to the table? Wholesale pricing at Lowe's? Who cares? Fight some crime, Manuel.
I
But
think
he
you
can't.
just hate Mexican animated characters.
I don't think that's it at all. See, with him, it's like talking tools. That's what he
And their
fixes
songs.
stuff.
Their songs.
And
Talking
that's a bad
tools.
message
So it's
for
like-
kids who are trying to figure out what they want to be when they grow up.
Tools
My little
don't
cousin
talk.
sits there all day. I want to be like Handy Manny. Of course you do. Because when you show up to work, the tools come to life and sing songs while they do the job for you. That sounds pretty sweet to me, too.
Then you can have your little siesta and just whatever.
Do you know how many mushrooms you have to eat before tools sing songs?
No, how many?
7.
Oh.
Well, depending on where you go.
Well, you're worrying about like the real deep stuff. I'm worrying about like changing diapers and crap,
See, my sister had a
and
baby
bonking the
last
kid's
year.
head, dropping it and stuff,
I'm worried about that. Like, I'm going to do something to mess him up.
like physically.
Yeah.
I'm just worried that the two of you will do stuff just to mess them up.
What?
That could happen, too.
Yeah,
I don't know why
just
you
to
would
tell
say
them
that.
that a word, one particular word means something that
Oh,
it's not
I've
really
pictured
supposed
that.
to mean.
There will be that.
I've pictured that
Yeah.
many times as my kid dropping the F-bomb or
Yeah.
something. in a
Or
part.
like farting continuously. The wife is not. She doesn't. I'm a fart master.
I am, too.
She doesn't want the.
Black belt.
Nice.
I'm brown. I'm working on it.
Brown belt.
You don't want
to.
to. You don't want a brown belt and fart mastery.
But the wife is totally against me like farting in front of the kid for fear that
Really?
the kid will be like crazy fart maniacal. Because I fart a lot. Like
Right, yeah.
I'm a gas master. I'm gassy.
I've made my
you're
living
gassy.
off farting.
I could eat non-gassy food and start plowing farts out my
I'm
butt.
kind of the same way. We should probably hang out more.
I think we just became best friends.
Well, I farted on Jessica Simpson. I think I told that
Yes,
story the
you
last
did.
time I was
That, I
here.
remember. Yeah.
You
now
got- all right.
I remember
should,
you.
should we have you tell the story again? Do you get tired of telling this story?
I don't. I mean, I feel like if I mention it, I'm sort of obligated to tell the story because I don't want people to just
Yeah.
think I go around crop dusting celebrities. Like, she earned it. You know, I mean, she wasn't a nice
All
person
right.
to me.
So tell the story again.
All right,
Farting on
I'll try
Jessica
to.
Simpson.
I'll try to shorten it up. I was on an airplane. I was about to board an airplane when I was living in Los Angeles, and I was flying home to Cincinnati for Thanksgiving. And as I get down onto the jet bridge, I noticed that the girl directly in front of me is Jessica Simpson, and she was all by herself. And at the time, married to Nick Lachey, who's from Cincinnati, and he's always seen around town at sporting
Reds
events and
hats
nightclubs.
and-
Yeah,
yeah.
and it's Thanksgiving, and his family's there, and I thought that's probably where she's headed because the flight was leaving L.A., stopping in Texas, and then the same plane was continuing on to Cincinnati.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just making conversation. I was like, "Are you going to Cincinnati?" And she just gives me this like nasty face, and she's like, "Why would I go to Cincinnati?" And in my head, I was like, "Well, aside from the list of reasons I had just come up with." Is that a crazy question to ask anyone getting on a plane that's going to end up in Cincinnati? And
You idiot.
and I was like, oh, I wasn't trying to pry. I thought maybe you're going to visit your husband for the holidays. I said, I'm a stand-up comic. I've met him a couple times. He's always been a nice guy. And even nastier this time, she goes, I'm sure you've met my husband. And I was just like, why would you treat people that way? You know,
No
it's like,
joke.
I don't care who you are or how many times I've downloaded pictures of you and photoshopped myself into them. That's not the point right now. You know, I'm a human being. And
I expect to be treated like one.
Exactly. And I would have been able to get over it if I was sitting anywhere else on the plane, but she's in the last row, first class, and I'm one row back and coach across the aisle. So if I even glance to my left, I see her getting whatever she wants brought to her immediately. And every time I looked at her, I got mad again. And I thought about my friends in Ohio. I was like, the whole time I lived in Hollywood, the only thing they ever wanted to know was, had I met anyone famous? Now I had. What was I going to say? Yeah, she wasn't very nice. That's a boring story. So
you're like, I need to spice this up.
yeah, let's see how we
Let's
can
take this up a
rectify
notch.
this situation. So we land in Texas, and I'm wide awake in the middle of the night, and I'm like, I'm gonna go out to the terminal, I'm gonna get some food, and then get back on the plane before it takes off. So I step out into the aisle, and she's just waking up. She ends up behind me while we're waiting for the door to open when I felt it. And immediately, it wasn't like my stomach hurts. It was, this is God letting me get my revenge for the way I was treated a couple hours ago. And so I just was like, oh, this is going to be the story. So right, I throw it out there, and it's awful. I mean, people in front of me are turning around like they might be able to see it in the air, like this mother of God. And I just stare straight ahead. You know, I can't. I
Didn't even
wanna
act
see if
like it
she's-
was you.
I wanted to see if she was making a face, but there's no way I could do that without
Heck no.
laughing.
No.
So I just kept telling myself, like, you won. You know, the war is over. You're clearly the victor. So she bakes in it for a good 8 minutes, and now we're in the terminal, and I can hear people talking about it. You know, like my eyes are burning, and so I call my best friend, because like when you're a comic, you say and do a lot of things you think are funny, but you know, until someone who isn't a comic says I think that's hilarious, it doesn't count. So I call my best friend back in Ohio, where it was like 4:30 in the morning. And he's like, hello. And I was like, hey, man, look, I'm sorry I woke you. I just thought you might want to know that about 10 minutes ago, I farted on Jessica Simpson. And from a sound sleep, he's like, that's awesome. And I was like, well, thank you, because that's how I felt, you know. So that's how I roll. If you disrespect me, there's a good chance
That you'll get farted upon.
So have you run into any other celebrities since then?
What's funny is I ran into her husband, Nick. We did this thing for the Cincinnati Reds.
Was this after the divorce?
Yeah, this is post-divorce.
Dish girlfriend.
And I hadn't seen him since I started telling the story, and it was on Comedy Central and then on my CD. And so I go, look, man, I got to tell you the story because it's kind of out there, and I just wanted to get your opinion on it. So like people started crowding around because they were listening to me tell him about how I farted on his wife and then
His
sent
ex-wife,
her
which is
home
good.
to him. You know. And he's like giggling through the whole thing, and he goes, you know what, man, she had it coming. And I was like, well,